In 2003, a special article was written to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the turning of the sod on St. John's Park. It was written by someone who grew up there and went on to become one of the country's most celebrated playwrights. To read that article for us tonight, the author himself, Mr. Jim Nolan.
Let's state the most important thing first. It was a great place to grow up. In an interview I did last year with the Evening Herald, I was asked if I had ever regretted not going to university. I told the journalist that my university could be found on the streets where I lived, and that when I left for London in October 1977, I was armed with a doctorate from the University of Brady's Bar, where I had soldiered for a few years in the mid-70s. The journalist thought I was kidding, but I wasn't. Any education I needed for being a playwright, I got in John's Park, and I'm proud to say it. For all of us who were lucky enough to live there, the occasion of our 50th birthday will bring memories, fond and sometimes painful, flooding back. As I rewind the tape, I discover that those memories are not of great events and important occasions, but are rooted in the commonplace and the ordinary, and they are all the more sacred for that. In an article this size, there's little room to do justice to the place, so just a few random images will have to do for now. It's Friday morning and Philip Boyle is selling fresh mackerel from the boot of his car. The same Philip who, when he got just a handful of votes the year he went for the corporation elections, said that the only thing he'd learnt from the experience was that there were 496 liars in Johnstown. Jerry Power is holding court with his young acolytes outside Jackie O'Regan's shop. Inside, Jackie is behind the counter, a gold flake stuck permanently to the inside of his mouth, as Ninny Reid tells him he's an awful robber. Brother Ryan is clambering out of the Austin Cambridge AWI 522 outside Sculler Con. You can see the leather strap dangling from his soutane pocket, another day of terror looming. Teddy O'Connor is charming the ladies on the bus to town. The ragman is trading balloons for cast-off clothes. Fortycoats and his son are dining out on the grass outside the candy store, the pair of them so grizzled you'd be hard put to tell the father from the son. Birdie Marr is conducting the Rose of Arran Moor at the accordion band rehearsal. Brian Power, my brother John, and the rest of the Johns Park hippies are listening to Bob Dylan in number 324. And 3 doors up in 321, Sean Dunn is writing his first poem. Jerry Fagan is slagging Bobby Sinnott in Brady's Bar. Nanny Rowe is looking for a baby Power at the off-licence hatch. Mario Giusti revs up his Triumph motorbike and sets off for the glass as Rosa Defenza hangs out her washing and dreams of Naples. Father O'Gorman is saying First Mass in the Chapel of Ease. The patients are thinning turnips in the mental field as young lads from Father Pat's bring home the apples from McClure's orchard. Sammy Winter blows his flour mill's redundancy money in a weekend, puts a stray snooker ball through Brady's window and borrows a double-decker bus to go to Katie Riley. Younger than I am now is chatting to Bridget Whelan at the garden gate. Jimmy Cleary is bringing the house down at the singing pubs. Jimmy Reynolds is standing at his door, and there are flowers and statues in every window as the May procession winds into the square. The German Road are beating the back road 3-2 as the sun sets in the field behind Junior Dinans. Joe Carroll wants more milk in his brandy. Pat Welsh is homesick for Broadstone, and the rentman is at the door, but there's nobody home. Nancy Doyle is telling fortunes. Maureen Barry is singing Fernando. Mrs. Madigan is cleaning the school. Johnny Dunphy stands outside Doyle's shop waiting for the English soccer results in the late edition of the Evening Herald, and the paper mill's bus is pulling up for the last time. And one memory burnt into the senses like no other. I am 10 years old. It's a summer's evening and I'm standing at the end of our road waiting for my father to come home from work. He's late, and as always, I'm thinking the worst until he swings round the bend on his post office bike. I wipe my tears on the sleeve of my shirt and run to meet him. He hoists me up on the bar of the bike and we head for home, the king and his prince, happy as the day is long. All our yesterdays, the life of a community, the ordinary extraordinary, the everyday immortal. These days there are more christenings than funerals, but there's life in the old park yet. Jerry Fagan, Bobby Sinnott, my father and many more may have gone to the bar that never closes, But Jerry's wife Jo, a hale and hearty 90 years old, this St. Patrick's Day still goes down to morning mass. The new estates have given new life to Scullar Cone. Frank Frampton is still the king of the Ballad Inn. The President of Ireland is coming to see us at the weekend. And next Saturday, Jimmy Reynolds is going to cut the ribbon in O'Regan's lovely new shop. So happy birthday to all of us. Here's to the next 50. And thanks for memories that will never die.
Thank you.